Manchester United, managed by Erik ten Hag, have reached an agreement with Bayern Munich to sign Matthijs de Ligt. Manchester United have been working hard to sign Matthijs de Ligt for some time. According to Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United have reached a full agreement with Bayern Munich to bring the Dutch centre-back to Old Trafford. De Ligt made a name for himself at Ajax, leading the Dutch club to the Champions League semi-finals back then. Then he moved to Juventus for a very large sum of money. Although he experienced considerable success with the old lady, he was never able to live up to the expectations. He has been a part of Bayern Munich's setup for the past 2 seasons. While he has done an adequate job at the back, the German giants are unconvinced by his performances and consider him surplus to requirements. The former captain of Ajax still has 3 years left on his contract, but the team has been trying to get rid of him because Vincent Kompany does not need him. Manchester United has been exerting a great deal of effort to acquire his services. The Red Devils are looking to strengthen their defence, which suffered during the previous campaign due to the injuries of important defenders. Despite having already signed Lenny Euro, they still require a more seasoned player to help them deal with Raphael Varane's departure. De Ligt was one of the stars under Erik ten Hag at Ajax, and ten Hag is a huge fan of the Dutch centre-back and would enjoy getting back together. The United manager believes he could be exactly what the club needs to bolster its defence. The player is also interested in working with ten Hag and hopes to move to United. He has already agreed on personal terms and is waiting for the clubs to reach a consensus. While the German giants were holding out on their $50 million demand, they finally accepted the Red Devils' condition to proceed with a $50 million package that included a $45 million fixed fee and an additional $5 million in add-ons. The payment will be spread over 3 years. De Ligt will sign a 5-year contract with an option for another 12 months once he is cleared to travel to England and undergo his medical with his new club. Manchester United's pre-season ended with mild disappointment as they lost the Community Shield to Manchester City at Wembley Stadium. While the manner of the 7-6 penalty shootout defeat was an anticlimax to the summer preparations, Erik ten Hag will have been proud of the efforts his team put in against their fierce rivals. In fact, this pre-season has had a much better mood to it than previous years, and there is some room for optimism, particularly with Matthijs de Ligt and Noussair Mazraoui likely to join the club before the transfer window slams shut. While players such as Ahmad and Harry Amas have staked their claims for further involvement in the first team, question marks remain about others, particularly 3 players who have not been used frequently in pre-season. Hannibal Mejbri appeared to be on borrowed time at Old Trafford when the Reds allowed him to leave on loan to Sevilla in January. The central midfielder made just 6 La Liga appearances for the club in what was a thoroughly underwhelming spell on loan. This has opened the door for his exit, with both of Glasgow's old firm clubs linked to his signature. In the meantime, Hannibal has been used sparingly by ten Hag, and it feels like now is the time he is sold. The Tunisian is highly unlikely to make it to the level United need, so another year hanging around the fringes of the squad is counterproductive for everyone involved. While it is admirable to see a player determined to represent United and perform for the team, his reluctance to leave this summer means the Reds will not be able to gain a profit from his signing. This is not the end of the world considering he joined on a free transfer, but in a summer where Ineos need to recoup as much money as possible, it is an issue. Eriksen might be a run further up the ladder than Hannibal, but you still feel it is unlikely he will break into the central midfield ahead of Kobbie Mainoo and even Scott McTominay. It is now a big few weeks for ten Hag as he may try and persuade the Dane his future is better elsewhere. Finally, the perhaps most surprising doubt in the United squad is Antony. The Brazilian came in as ten Hag's marquee signing in the Dutchman's first window at the club, but he has fallen flat since a promising opening couple of matches. He met with journalists during the pre-season tour and assured them that his name would be mentioned in terms of goals and assists. However, this will be difficult if ten Hag keeps leaving him on the bench. Following his Community Shield appearance, it appears Antony is now behind Jadon Sancho in the pecking order, and after a rotten beginning to life in the Premier League, a loan move for the season could be just what the doctor ordered to refocus the forward for the remainder of his United career. Leaving Antony to stew on the bench is unlikely to help him, but it would certainly be difficult to persuade either the winger or ten Hag that this option is what is best for all parties.